Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous 3-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes. We are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? Another great day here in Atlanta, Georgia, to be talking sports and the radio. Well, on the radio, in the studio, I should say, on the radio. Crazy week in sports, like always, but we had some bombs dropped to us on Friday. A lot of interesting topics to get into as far as the games, playoffs. Hey, man, this is beautiful, man. This is that great time of the year. And, of course, I'm not doing this by myself. I'm here with my man, engineer, the one and only G. What up, G?
Yo.
You good?
I'm good, man.
Okay, I had to get something else, man. Sometimes I got to hear you say something else. And
I'm working back here, man. That's why I leave the greeting to yo. And see, now I've said too much.
See?
Customary, baby.
And once again, my road dog is out. The Intellectual, shout out to him. But now we have the superstar. He has a superstar status today. My man, Iguodala. I'm sorry, my bad. H.O. What up, H.O.?
Hey, man, what's happening? What's happening? I'm doing the Stevie Wonder imitation today. Obviously, because of a good reason. Something like it's kind of bothering me.
Oh, man.
Not as much as it's bothering the Braves bullpen, but I'm sure we'll get into that.
That's why you transferred from
Kimber can't get a job.
It's like they don't want him now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all good, man. Good to be here Saturday morning, man. Trying to rep the 3-point conversion lounge. So, y'all get ready, man. We about to get to it.
Yes, sir. Some good stuff to get into, to talk about. We got to talk about this AD situation now. New Orleans, now that they have the number 1 pick, it looks like, despite rumors, it looks like that Zion and New Orleans have a mutual agreement. And so now, what are they going to do with AD? Are they going to trade him? New Orleans say they don't want to trade him, but wait till we hear these offers. You know, LA got the 4th pick.
Yep.
You got other teams.
Boston got 14.
Yep.
New York got 3.
New York got 3. You know, just so we'll get into that. The possibilities. Will he leave? Should New Orleans let him go, or should he stay? We'll talk about that. Also, we have, of course, the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about the conference finals. See what happens with Milwaukee. Are they ready to go to the finals? It's only been 2 games. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Also, Golden State was an epic game, great game on Thursday. See if it follows up with another great game. And then we have, I guess, Deshaun Tate coming in, talking about this lottery. We hadn't had a chance to talk about the lottery. It was like the lottery for real, like anybody could win. And we saw New Orleans get the number 1 pick, but just the way teams fell off. But not really get into that, but more so, what should the Hawks do now since they have 2 picks? Or what should New York do? Who's the best player to get right now? Who's that sleeper player? So much to get into. Also, we're talking Major League Baseball. It's getting better by the week. I'm telling you, this is a great season so far. Great battles going on. Seeing all these young players rising up. And then we have Battlegrounds. We have G, who won, who beat Damian Adams like, I don't know, he was acting up in the mall and he just fell out in the mall. You know how you used to do when you was a child, and G just beat the mess out of him. But he's taking on another challenge, and that's Danny Thompson. Danny Thompson said he want to go ahead and challenge, so we have Battlegrounds. Then we have Dr. Fowler coming in, talking about these injuries, and we have Stopping What's on Our Mind, Quick Hits. So make sure you stay tuned. We're on 1100 AM, WWWE locally on the radio. Also, we're live on the Facebook, the 3-Point Conversion Facebook page. What's going on? Also, we're on TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and Radio Now. Let your friends and family know they can call in at 404-603-8770 to give their 3 cents. And it is now time for the quick hits. Let's get it. So, thanks to Sherm Beats for the quick hit beats. And we have Tiger Woods, first off, misses cut. He missed the cut by one stroke, one off. And this is at the PGA Championship. Tiger like, well, I got another green jacket. But meanwhile, Brooks Koepka, he shot a record 128 after 36 holes, which is ridiculous. And he has the lead at 12 under. First to get on Tiger Woods, you win that green jacket, come in a PGA tournament, and a championship, and then you don't make the cut. Should we get used to this for right now because he's still battling back?
I think that you hope that consistency will come into play because you're so used to Tiger being Tiger. But we gotta, I think at some point you gotta realize that, after 4 back surgeries, that this is not gonna be the same guy. He put out, again, the soft greens at Augusta, a whole lot different from these greens here.
Right.
And, Brooks is the kind of guy who took what Tiger used to be, being in the weight room, being very, very, very strength oriented, and he's hitting the ball further than anybody on the course. That's why he's setting record. He kind of looks like a Tiger 2.0 based on, in his PGA Tour. So, but to get back to Tiger, I think you can kind of look for some inconsistencies, especially in these major tournaments.
Right, yeah. Like I said, we got to get used to it. I know it's a big win, and everybody was excited. Oh, he's going to win the majors. He's going to win all 4 majors. Come on, man. That was just vintage Tiger. We don't know if he's back or not, Let him play a couple of more. So, regardless, shout out to Tiger, and we're still rooting for him. Moving on. The Los Angeles Lakers keeps it going. We might have to send them a paycheck because they keep giving us material. They will not hire a president of basketball operations replacement for Magic Johnson. General Manager Rob Pelinka will continue in that role. This is a former agent. Is he qualified for the job?
Well, first of all, I think I know what it says and I know what they're saying, but what they're not saying is no one would take the president job to become president.
It's not that. They can't hire anybody with the last name Rambis. That's a bad look.
that too. Listen to this. So you haven't made the playoffs in 6 years. You see that what happens when you give your kids when you leave your kids things, and then you are dependent on an agent to make basketball moves who only had one client.
Right.
One client. So he's running your basketball operation. So yeah, right. Oh, good luck hiring the president if that's what you want to do. But I just think that no one wants to take the job because it's hands down it's truly a mess in LA, and I still cannot wait to see how they come out of this hole.
Yeah, it's sad to see them going through this, and it's just not right to see the Lakers do this. But
yeah, this
is it? I mean, maybe it was overdue. Everyone has to go through an overhaul. Like, you have to get used to, get back on your feet, start over in a sense. And they've never done that. Even with Kobe, they were losing. They didn't really start over.
Right.
So
not an organization that rebuilds. They usually just restructure.
Right. Moving on. Here we go. I don't know what to think about this. So, Indiana Pacers guard Tyreke Evans has been dismissed and disqualified from the NBA from the NBA, and I guess the NBA National Basketball Association anti-drug program. That's what he went against basically, and he can't apply for reinstatement until 2 years from now. He has never had an offense, right, G?
Well, the way that it works is it doesn't have to be made public if they violate the policy. And in this case, if it's a drug of abuse, which can include methamphetamines, cocaine, heroin, codeine, this is more than just weed.
Right.
So it's one of those drugs to where people are known to abuse it. I think alcohol may be included as well, because that's what happened to Roy Tarpley, if anyone remembers him. Right. And I'm not sure exactly what it was with O.J. Mayo, but this is the same suspension that he got.
Yeah. He finna go bye-bye. Listen, he played at Memphis, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, nobody would have heard about it anyway. So, playing in Memphis, you want to go hear about this situation, right? So, again, just like G was saying, O.J. Mayo, Roy Tarpley, and I want to say Mr. Baby Jordan, Harold Miner, which you probably...
It might not have... well, I don't know.
Yeah, he got blackballed somehow.
And, Michael Ray Richardson is another.
Michael Ray Richardson is another one. So, they got a whole starting five on this for the disappeared acts. Because Tyreke Evans is about to be a part of this disappeared act for these former players, which, to me, you just basically just disrespect the basketball game and what God has blessed you to do. You just totally just disrespect it and just throw it up in the air, just a waste, period.
And from a source, Tyreke may be known to drink a little bit. So that's why my guess on what drug it actually is, I know that's never disclosed. My guess is it was codeine. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm. And he's not even from Texas. He's from Pennsylvania. Wow. Go ahead, then.
Hey, like I said, I don't know what it was.
But I don't know if anybody got as many tries as Roy Tarpley did. I mean,
yeah, he
got
like 3 or 4 chances.
Yeah, he got 3 or 4 chances. I don't see this. I think this is it for him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Moving on. I'm still tripping off that, man. I can't believe that. But anyway, so
they got a free spot.
Yeah. So James Harden, Paul George, and Giannis Antetokounmpo have been named finalists for the MVP award. Trae Young, Luka Doncic, and DeAndre Ayton, I don't know why they put him in, have been named finalists for the Rookie of the Year. The winners will
because
be
they had
announced.
to have 3. Yeah,
winners will be announced on June 24th. Man, they should have picked Kevin Huerter in. I heard her. I mean, just anybody. But so to me, the interesting one was the 6-man award, because for the 6-man, you had Lou Williams. Who was it? Lou Williams,
Montrezl Harrell, and Domantas
Sabonis. So you had 2 Clippers.
Oh, they gypped my man.
Dinwiddie?
Yeah.
From Brooklyn?
Yes.
Yeah, so
they gypped him. Woo. I might have something to say about that.
Was he in on Tyreke? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Like, I know you got to have 3, but let's just call it what it is. If it's a 2-man race, just put the finalists for, instead of doing 3, where it's like, okay, like Paul George, he fell out of it. Why put him in there? Why does he have to show up?
You know why he probably got put in there? he probably got a couple of first place votes.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the rule, but I feel like he might have gotten a couple of votes.
Okay, well, if he did, but again, we'll see what happens. Those are the finalists. To me, we all saw that. We knew that was going to happen. But I don't know.
How can you have a 6-man award, 2 on
With
one
2,
team?
Right.
One can't be the 6th.
That doesn't make sense.
Neither of them start.
Right, but that means
You can't be a 6-man.
But Lou Will is the team's leading scorer, and I think Harold is their leading rebounder. He'll get you like 15, 16 a game.
But do they come in at the same time?
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
They come in at the same
a
time.
lot of times they do.
You can't do that, man. I'm boycotting if I'm Dinwiddie. Ain't no way.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the 7-man award.
I know his stats. Let me pull his stats up.
Look,
go ahead.
Because
I'm gonna pull his
all right,
stats
I'm
up.
gonna move on. But what I would do
Spencer, right?
if I was Dinwiddie, I would go back and pay somebody look at the tape, see who came in first. If Montreal came in first, Lou Williams can't win it. I'm being petty with this situation, man. This is crazy.
I agree.
But moving on. Less than 2 weeks after his unanimous decision victory over Daniel Jacobs, middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez has been ordered by the IBF to defend his title on or before August 4th versus the number 1 contender, Sergey D. We just gonna say D. Deverchenko. It doesn't look like that, ladies and gentlemen. But Alvarez is unlikely to fight by that date, waiting for a possible third fight with Triple G. Now, how can they tell you have to fight on or before? I never heard that before.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I mean, I understand if they're like, okay, you have to fight this guy next because he's the number 1 contender, but setting a deadline, I really hadn't seen that before. And also, like, he has a fight scheduled for September 14th, which is Mexican Independence Day. He normally fights on that weekend.
Right.
So that's where his next fight is going to be.
Right.
But there is demand for another match with Triple G, and Triple G is fighting somebody next month. I can't remember the name, but that's what he's waiting on. He's not worried about this Sergey guy.
Like I said, I just never heard of that. So
yeah, this is the weirdest thing.
Yeah, this is
now they talking about they may strip the title and all this.
you
I'm
can't
like,
do
man,
that. That's
come
crazy,
on.
man. And last but not least, Arizona Cardinals Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Peterson has been suspended 6 games by the NFL for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policy. He is projected to lose about $3.8 million of his $11 million salary. Wow.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what this means. Let me relate this to you
Go
real
ahead, break
quick.
it down.
Y'all remember Greedy Williams?
Yeah.
You know he slipped in the draft, right? You know what school he went to.
LSU.
You know what school Patrick Peterson went to.
Yeah.
LSU.
You know what school Jalen Collins went to. LSU. Okay.
So that's what you think's going on down
We gonna close the case.
Did D
Only
tell you that?
DB. It's only the defensive backs. I mean, just think about it.
Yeah.
How does
Honey
Greedy?
Badger ain't
How
been
does
caught
Greedy? How does? Huh?
Honey Badger ain't been caught yet, I guess.
Yeah. There you go.
He was caught in college?
He was caught in college. Plenty of time.
That
and
was
look,
with weed though, not PEDs.
yeah. And guess who was his mentor? Patrick Peterson. Okay, so look. Did I connect him?
You connected.
Did I connect?
He broke it down.
I connected him.
He broke it down.
Connect 4.
All right, so that concludes our quick hits. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back.
Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
Good morning. This is Greg Hurd with your sports news break. The Atlanta Braves have won their 3rd game in a row by beating the Milwaukee Brewers 12-8. Ronald Acuna went 3 for 4, including 3 RBI. Also, rookie sensation Austin Riley recorded 2 more hits and is batting .500 since joining the team. The Atlanta Falcons' Scott Pioli has retired as the assistant general manager. Atlanta United will be traveling to New York to face the Red Bulls this Sunday. They are looking to get their 6th straight shutout. Tonight, the Portland Trailblazers look to get their first win of the series against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Golden State leads the series 2-0. So make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for all of your major sports news and updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
Hey folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Stay tuned. Going to be a great show.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Seneca's Barbershop, located on Chapel Hill, 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Make sure you check them out. Great barbershop. Man, I'm tripping off you and these glasses. But great barbershop. They are, everyone can cut, man. I always say good stuff. Go in, they're going to do what they do. Talk, good talk about the community, about children and all. Go check them out. Also, check out my guy, Dwayne Chambers, a.k.a. Baby Powder. Make sure you check him out. He is the barber all the way down on the left, the last barber on the left when you walk in. And you can follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. All right. This next topic, the hot topic, AD. Everybody thought this draft, this lottery, and this draft is about Zion. It is, in a sense, but it's really about AD. What Zion comes first, it is. Everybody wanted Zion. But now it's about the AD sweepstakes. What happens with AD? We all know that New Orleans wanted him to stay. The impossible happened. They get the number 1 pick. Now it's choices to be made. H.O., as the Pelicans, if you're the Pelicans, do you really pitch something to AD to where try to convince him to stay, or is it now you're listening to offers? Because you don't want to. If you're trying to get a draft pick, you don't. I mean, do you want to wait to after during halfway of the season and say, okay, we're going to trade him? Or what do you do?
You got to go ahead and listen. He's not going to sign back. I mean, let's be real. He's not going to sign back. I think if you do try to sign him, it's upwards to $240 million. Now, go ahead and trade him. Get what you need to try to build your organization the way that you want to build it. I think having the number 1 pick and picking Zion is a great reset button. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and see if you can get picks. I think Boston is interested, New York, the Lakers, obviously. Which package could be your best package? I just think you should be able to go out and find some packages that would kind of work for your organization. So I don't think that Yeah, I don't think that you need to sign him back, or I don't even think you even pitch it. Just go ahead and everybody just.
So basically, you're saying don't even think about.
Don't even entertain.
So you don't. Okay, so as AD, so we go back to New Orleans. So if you're AD, you don't think that this should kind of I don't know, pique your interest just a little bit.
Listen, you AD got picked number 1 in 2012, right?
Right.
It's 2019. What has the Pelicans done?
Not true.
They had Boogie Cousins on the same team. They've had some pieces. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, last year they made a move. Last year they made a playoff run. It was very, very interesting. But at this particular point in time, you already AD wearing the "that's all, folks." I mean, the signs are there. I mean, it's almost like in a relationship. You see the reds when you see them red signs.
Let it go.
Pay attention.
The red flags.
The red flags. Let's go. Pay attention. So it is what it is. So it's no even sense of trying to even entertain that. $240 million. No, you're not even in the market for that.
I think now that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time before they trade it. It's just a matter of time because if they were going to, the reason why it looks bad is because they should have traded him before the All-Star break this season. And some people think that, hey, maybe they should have traded him last offseason.
Right.
But they messed around and made it to the second round. Mm-hmm. So they think they could keep this thing going. But they didn't bring they let Boogie walk and then there were some other injuries and everything. So they overachieved and then they kind of fell into that trap of, well, maybe we can do something. Maybe we're contenders now. And it's a place that he didn't want to be. He's had a lot of injuries there. The medical staff that was there had a terrible reputation because they also work with the Saints. But they've all been fired. And
way to jab him, G. Way to jab him.
Hey, that's what it is. That's what it is, man. And they brought in people from Phoenix, even though Phoenix has a great medical staff, or at least a reputation of a great medical staff, even though it doesn't result in winning any games. But they brought some Phoenix Suns people in. But that's not going to be enough to convince him to stay. New Orleans is a struggling basketball city. They are struggling to keep that team there, and the NBA is working as hard as they can to keep that team there. Even when they ran the team, that's when they got the number 1 pick to get Anthony Davis. Right. And I think that's why I still think the draft is rigged, because this was to, maybe getting Zion will convince Anthony Davis to stay. It's not going to convince him.
It's getting Zion is maybe we can – get enough people to get a bigger market for New Orleans, because remember, once they sold that team in 2012, they got the number 1 pick. They was promised basically the number 1 pick in an All-Star game. Mm-hmm. They was promised that.
They've hosted the All-Star game 5 times in the last 3 years. and I know that don't add up right, but you know what I mean.
Right, yeah. Right. The NBA has some type of, I don't know what it is with this New Orleans thing, but it's crazy. You got to think about it. How would New Orleans get the number 1 pick out of all these? This is just unprecedented at this particular point.
But I'm saying, if I'm just talking from another side, if AD, if you have Zion, is going to draw more people there.
Right.
But now you might start having stars there. People, I don't know if any stars live there, but you might have, the
Cash Money,
the rappers, Cash Money, and Master P might come. But you start having people come in. But then now you might draw that third. You have Drew, but you might draw that next player because you might have something. Okay,
the problem with that is he don't want to be there.
Right. So you say get rid of him. Mm-hmm. Now, what are the possibilities? What team do you think? Personally, I know Boston has a lot. I think they do. Boston has a lot. But I think with that number 4 pick for the Lakers, and you give him Brandon Ingram, I would give him also Lonzo Ball, because I think Lonzo Ball would be perfect for Zion and that type of team. Then you put Drew at the 2, and Hart. I know the Lakers are not giving up Kuzma, but Hart. If you can get Kuzma out of it, then you definitely do that. But I don't see that happening. You still got Julius Randle there in New Orleans. I think that works.
Right? Free agent, Julius.
I thought he just signed a 1-year deal. Let me check his
I think so.
With them, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the Lakers look good right now.
Lakers, New York, Boston. I think out of those 3, he will be one of those because of the relationship with LeBron, and I think they have the upper hand. I'm not sure the lure of New York. Hell, I mean, that organization is just as bad as their front office is just as bad as the Lakers. Right. And I think what's scaring people off is the front office. Like, how do you? I think with Magic leaving and LeBron probably not wanting to be there, that kind of throws a monkey wrench into AD's thing. And then you look at New York, Dolan, he rather be playing in the band or traveling with the band instead of, so Boston may come out on top in this situation, but I don't know what Danny Ainge is. I don't know how he's recovering from the stroke or heart attack or whatever the case may be. So I don't know who's running that thing, but I think they got the 14th pick and a couple of more picks. Kyrie may leave. Do you trade Jaylen Brown? Do you trade Jason Tatum? What is to offer from Boston if Kyrie is not going to be there? So I'm not sure. And if you trade Gordon Hayward and some more pieces, maybe Kyrie stays and you get AD with him. I don't know. It's a lot of moving parts.
I just know that Tatum is very interesting. Everybody, he's a very good player. I think he's special. Him going to New Orleans with a Zion, with a Drew Holiday. And if you can make one more pick for a point guard, or you just draft a point, I don't know. Maybe with the 14th pick. Cody White not going to be there. I don't know what.
Maybe Rozier.
Maybe Rozier. Well, Chicago's interested in him. Look like they about to offer that money to him. But if it was still another way you can get Lonzo Ball.
What if Rondo comes back? Because he's a free agent.
That too.
That's going to be a problem.
But I don't.
Why you say that?
I don't think Rondo. He loves to teach, but I can't see him going to a young team with.
He's going to be a coach anyway.
He's going to be a coach eventually.
Why you say it'll be a problem though?
I mean, at this point of his career, I don't think him going to a young team or some rebuilding team is ideal for him.
As a coach, what you think he gonna have? Young players. This is practice.
No, I mean him as a player, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I feel you on that.
I'm talking as a player.
Oh, okay.
He can be a player coach.
He'll get 30 assists, but
yeah.
All right, so that wraps up the hot topic. We'll see what happens. I'm interested in this. This is like I said,
AD on the move.
It's AD. This is the AD sweepstakes now. So we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back to talk some more playoff basketball. Keep it locked.
What's up? This is Chris Tucker for the 3-point conversion. Let's go.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3 Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Last night, Milwaukee looked like it might be time for them to move on to most people. But it was only game 2. Usually at home, a blowout happens at home. I'm throughout my lifetime, I've seen blowouts happen usually in game 2. I don't know why, but it just, especially if they won game 1, confidence and everything. What's your take on Milwaukee, man? Do you think it's over? Or let me ask you this: with them being they're 2-0, they go to Toronto. Toronto's very good at home. Who do you trust more at this point? Do you trust Toronto to bounce back and win 2 games at home?
No. Milwaukee just looks like a complete team at this particular point. They have a supporting cast that you can actually just go down the line with. I think during the middle of the season, it was one of those stats where I said Brook Lopez had 191 threes at the time.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and these are things that are unexpected. Like
Right.
you don't count on a 7-footer in your game plan knocking down threes to enable the freak to have open space. Because if he's out there, then you pulling the center away from the goal.
Right.
And then you got Chris Middleton and you got Brogdon playing consistent, and then you have Bledsoe and George Hill looks like just like the Monstars done took off. They done left him. So, I mean, they just look more complete as a team. And, maybe we should give Coach Bud a lot of this credit, because when you look at Toronto on this side, this is the bad thing about it. If Kyle Lowry going to give you 30 points, you got to win that game.
Right.
If he's going to put up 30, you have to win that game. Because he probably ain't going to put up 30 no more.
And that's the problem. Like game 1, he put up 30, but in the fourth quarter, no one else could score.
Yeah, he was the only one to make a shot.
And that's not so. But that tells me
they're
honestly,
not complete.
No, that doesn't. I'm not worried if that happens, because that's not going to happen again. When is the last time you saw Kyle Lowry score all the points in that doesn't happen. It's not. That's not going to happen again in the series. Now, would Kyle Lowry score 30 points? That might not happen either.
Right.
But
well, we know that ain't
right. But I'm saying game 1 was, to me, more of an indication that this is going to be a long series. Because Giannis didn't come through in that game. Who came through in that game? Your man Brook Lopez shooting 35-foot threes. That's not going to happen each game.
Right.
And this is what I'm saying. This is why I still trust Toronto, because of experience. If the game comes close again, I can't say that will happen with Toronto, but I definitely can say that Milwaukee has a closer. Who is Milwaukee's closer? And I said this before the series. The only reason why I'm going with Toronto is because if it's close, the edge goes to Toronto. Milwaukee has no closer. Giannis has never been a closer. Brook Lopez, I don't know what the Monstars, like you said, LeBron in his movie is affecting the NBA right now. But I can't see Milwaukee closing. So they have to blow everybody out. Now, if they continue to blow them out, of course they're going to win. But I just don't see any more blowouts like that from Milwaukee.
But see, this is the thing that I see, and I dig what you're saying when it comes to that. But who on Toronto is going to step up? Because Kawhi keep giving you 30, and then there's no one else. It's Siakam been inconsistent.
Right. He has to step
Lowry
up.
is, you know.
No, who has to step up, and to me, he's the X factor, is Danny Green. I don't know what going on with Danny Green. Like, you have to play better, bruh.
Do you trust that?
What, Danny Green?
Yeah. Do you really? Because when you go down the line of Milwaukee, think about it. I didn't even mention Ilyasova.
Right.
I didn't mention Connaughton. Tony Snell can't even get minutes. You know, I mean, it just see. And then Brogdon coming back, it's they have so many different people that is stepping up. It'll just take. It's almost like Toronto. You don't have enough. You just don't have enough pieces. I mean, Ilyasova he's shooting. Brogdon shooting threes. Brook Lopez shooting threes. Connaughton shooting. I mean, everywhere. And maybe the kid Anunoby being out hurts because that could possibly give them a third score. But at this particular point, I just don't really trust a Danny Green.
And so, what adjustments then do Toronto need? Is it just more of just better play?
Better play. They have to figure out how to. They have to play perimeter to figure out how to stop Milwaukee from making shots. And they have to make shots. They have to be on their game to where Green is making shots, Lowry is making. Because Saul needs to make shots. Right. They need to play better defense and make shots for Toronto to be in this series at this particular point. Maybe going home can help the role players, as we always talk about. The role player play better at home, but it's gonna be tough. But hopefully we can get better play out of Toronto because it is looking pretty bad right now. And I understand that the series don't start till the home team lose.
It's game 3.
Yeah,
they at home because if they win game 3, which they should, they better. I say that. Then it's still if they tied up 2-2. I mean, we saw Houston Rockets do it with KD in the lineup. It was 2-2. You know, that's why I say it's still more basketball to play. But you're right. They have to play. They have to shoot better. I think that's the key.
Shoot better.
I think it was a blowout. First game, Milwaukee really didn't shoot that well at first. You know, then they just blew up in the last 7 or 8 minutes of that fourth quarter, and Toronto didn't. So that's what it is. Now, moving to the Portland, Golden State, what does Portland need to do to have a chance in this series?
You know, I think they had a chance the other night. I think Dame got caught up into being a hero. Mm-hmm. You didn't use the pick and roll because he figured you would go get trapped. But they did everything that they could possibly do. They matched them really shot for shot. They actually defended the pick and roll that Golden State did. I think what they actually need to do now is keep Golden State off of the offensive board. That's the biggest. Yes. Kevin Looney, Draymond, they just Iguodala. They just have to keep them off the offensive boards. I mean, if Harkless and Amino is not going to make shots, at least rebound the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think rebounding the ball and keep giving Golden State extra possessions is killing, Portland at this particular point. So I think offensive rebounding and turnovers are killing Portland at this particular point in the series.
Well, what actually killed them in Game 2 was the inexperience of Terry Stotts. And I say that because when you come in the second half, kudos to Golden State for the coaching and for my man, who was the coach for Cleveland? I can't think of his name right now. Mike Brown.
Brown.
Kudos to him. When we all know Portland's offense is a pick and roll, the high screen, pick and roll, whatever. And when they came off of that and both players trapped, they did it 6 times in a row. And 6 times in a row, Golden State got the ball back. After the 3rd time, you call a timeout, and what do? Regroup? Or don't even call a timeout. Let's another play. Hey, ISO or something. Don't just keep doing it. But the inexperience of Terry Stotts allowed Golden State to come back and win that game. Does he learn quickly? Probably not. And I'm not saying he's but we've seen Phil Jackson Pop won his first. But Pop, I'm trying to think, when Pop came in 97, Pop been in the playoffs, he had to learn. All of them had to learn. So this might be his learning time right now. Because it's almost the same with the Toronto series too.
Right.
But I will say it was good to see Steph Curry's little brother, Seth, come in and give a fight. Like, I've been rooting for him all season.
Yeah, he made all three of his threes in the 4th quarter.
And big threes too.
Yeah, knocked them down.
It wasn't just I'm open, let me shoot it. He got aggressive.
And he had 4 steals, 3 of them from his brother.
Yeah, for real. And so last question, quickly, I'm going to ask both of y'all. Can they win without KD? Golden State. Can they
win what?
A chip.
It's going to be tough against Milwaukee. Milwaukee got length. Milwaukee got players. Milwaukee has a bench. It'll be tough against Milwaukee. I think they can, but it'll be very, very challenging with Milwaukee. I think Greek Freak you can put him on either Steph.
But you giving it. So what about Toronto? Because you giving it to Milwaukee.
I'm just. So okay, if Toronto,
they play Toronto, can they?
Yeah. But if this is the case, I'm giving it to Golden State, or you giving it to Golden State fans, Portland in.
Right. But I'm saying if
it's Toronto, I think it's less of a challenge without KD. If it's Milwaukee, I think it's a bigger challenge without KD. I just put it that way. Because Greek Freak can, okay, we go put you on Steph, we go put you on Clay. Do your thing.
So do you think?
I think they can win without KD. I think he'll eventually be back, but it'll be in the finals. I don't think they'll need him for this series, just because even though as many
feel the same way too.
As many adjustments as the Blazers can make, they just don't have the horses
right
to keep up. But if they play Milwaukee, I think they can beat Milwaukee without KD, but it'll be a longer series than anyone anticipates. If they play Toronto, they're going to have some adjustments will be made, but it'll be obvious adjustments. Like we'll see Andrew Bogut playing more.
Right.
We'll see probably Quinn Cook playing more. I mean, they'll use more of their bench, just like Toronto should be, but they're not, and that's part of why they're down 0-2 right now.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they can. Like you said, if they play Milwaukee, it depends. Yeah, it just depends. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You don't want to miss it. Battlegrounds is coming up next. Danny is waiting for his, and G has his plate ready. What Danny said? What did Danny say? What was his meme? Gonna knock you out or something like that. He had a boxing.
Something about Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, and G said, what you say? I'm hungry.
No, it tastes like victory.
Tastes like victory. Ooh. So it's fighting words already.
Ooh.
Don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Let me go pop my popcorn.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, The practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Big ups to our Sports Lounge crew for keeping the airways blazing each and every Saturday. But I want to send another special shout out to our team of writers at the 3 Point Conversion. You can visit us at the3pointconversion.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. How about the Gram? How about iHeart? How about Spreaker Radio? How about wherever you need it, baby? We got you covered.
All right, we're back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I need a bell because it's about to go down. Wow. I have the winner of last week's Battlegrounds. G tore. It was a good battle. He just, the votes went towards his way. So I'll take that back. He didn't beat him like he stole something. It was more of everybody just vote. It was that the Dome Patrol that everybody kept saying that won it right there. So good job. And it's funny because if Damian wouldn't have picked first, when it said I go first, Damian would have had that answer. Gee, would you would have came up with another one? What other team would you would have came up with?
Probably the Ravens couldn't say the Ravens.
Oh, okay,
so it probably would have been 2015 Denver.
Oh, ooh. See, I was thinking of 49ers in 2012 with Bowman, Alden Smith,
Bowman and Willis,
Ahmad Brooks and Willis.
Yeah.
Whew. But all right. Anyway, it is the now, and we do have a challenger who's familiar with this show and familiar with this Battlegrounds. He always get there and gets late in the tournament. They're like, it's almost like the Utah Jazz of Battlegrounds. My man, Danny Thompson. Danny, what's going on, man? This is it, though. This is, to me, I think it's more prepared for a great battle. It's not like a finals. Usually with finals, sometimes you have favorites. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, this is it. This is what you wanted.
Hey, man, it was funny when G picked up the phone. I was like, fighters ain't supposed to talk before the fight. He busted out laughing.
All right, man. So, look, yeah, because G and mess around and mute you while you go and act like it's your phone. Can't do that. But anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, I need your votes. Just in case it's your first time watching, I'm going to go through the rules quickly. So, it's going to be 3 rounds. I'm going to ask one question per round. Whoever goes first, well, both contestants has 2 minutes to answer their question, to basically give their answer, then argue their point. So whoever goes first, they get 30 seconds to come up with their answer, and then after that, they have 2 minutes. The next contestant, after the first contestant is done, the next contestant comes up and just start answering. He has to go in. He doesn't get 30 seconds because he had the 2 minutes. The next round are flip-flops, and then the next round are flip-flops. I need you to vote not just on the answer per se, but more so on the argument as well. If they can convince you that they're right, that's what you vote for. All right, so G, you won, so I'm going to let you pick between 1 and 17.
9.
Danny?
12.
The number was 3. G, you want him to go first or you going first?
I'll go first.
Oh. All right. Let me get everything ready. All right. So, all right. First question, and I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to repeat it twice, all right? Hold on. Let me get my questions ready. All right. So, I want you, in a Major League Baseball game, or in a Major League Baseball one-game wild card playoff game, right? The wild card playoff game, the one game. What pitcher would you start not named Bumgarner, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez? Let me ask that question one more time. In a Major League Baseball or MLB one-game wild-card playoff game to advance to the next round, what pitcher would you start not named? Is it Adam Bumgarner, right? Madison Bumgarner, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez. G, you have 30 seconds. Please don't put your vote, don't put who you have on the Facebook. Don't give them jokers any answers.
All right, I'm ready.
You got the time?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hold on.
All right, so, all right. I got it. We got it. Let's go now.
He passed away recently, but, during his playing career, I feel like he was a very dominant pitcher. And I'm going with Roy Halladay. He's won Cy Youngs in both leagues. He's won a championship with the Phillies. And he has the one of 2 no-hitters in postseason history. So we know what he was capable of on the mound as far as just taking over a game. He's one of those guys. There's a very short list of guys to where you bring in off of 2 or 3 days rest. If you want him for in a save situation or a one-game playoff like this scenario, he's definitely a guy that he's just that to me, it's one of the first names that comes up because we've seen him do it. We've seen him go out there, and even with Toronto, they weren't a very good team, but when he was out on the mound, you felt like, well, they're at least going to win this one. So that's why I would go with Roy Halladay.
All right, Danny. Let's go now.
In the history of pitchers I can think of, there's always been great, guys that can do one game. And for me, I'm going to pick a guy that's local to you guys. And it's not Greg Maddux, it's not Tom Glavine. It's John Smoltz. John Smoltz was the rock of the Braves for a countless number of years in big games. I think he won like 15-4 in the postseason. His ERA was under 3 in the postseason. So when you look at all the massive performances he had, if you go back to, I think it was the 91 series, he threw a shutout against Pittsburgh in the championship series. It's always been big games, but in Braves history, when you look at the big 3 pitchers and you look at Maddux, you look at Glavine, the one that people forget about is John Smoltz. So if I have one game with my life on the line in a make or break situation, I'm choosing a guy like Smoltz who can change speeds. He can hit you with changeups, sliders, curveballs, fastballs. He knows how to mix up pitches. He doesn't let the big game get to him, and he's always cool, calm, and under pressure. So I'm taking Smoltz.
All right, that concludes round 1. Whew. Hey, Joe.
Before we move on, do you mind if we pause for station identification?
Sure.
All right. Hold on
1 second. We'll be right back for the.
You're tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
All right, we got to pay them bills. So round one, this is the first ever. That's history right there. That's how good round one was. Mm-hmm. Woo. Round two, Danny, you up first. G, you follow second. All right, so name the most underrated player in the NBA since 1990. I'm going to ask that question again. Name the most underrated player in the NBA since 1990. Danny, you have 30 seconds. And of course, the Beats by Sherm Beats. That's a tough one, H.O.
1990.
1990, the most underrated player.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go now.
When you look at players around the NBA who've been completely underrated and undervalued over the years, one name that comes to my mind almost pretty much immediately is Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs. You know, he was not always hailed as the best point guard in the NBA, because if you look at all his entire career, he was always overshadowed by point guards that were better than him. You look at Chris Paul, you look at throughout the Steph Curry, you look at any other point guard that's been from mid-1990s, 2000s, from Allen Iverson. You look at all those point guards that have been before him. Tony Parker's been a winner. Why he's been so good? Because of the fact that he played in a great system in San Antonio. He knew how to win. And we all realize that teardrop floater is, to me, one of the best top 10 signature moves in the NBA, because it was almost unstoppable. Anytime Parker got in the pick and roll with Tim Duncan and he got in that lane, that floater was almost impossible to stop. So, I mean, you go back and look at what Tony Parker did. He did it like a doctor of precision. He did it with precision force and basically cut through defenses like a knife. He was also a very good shooter from the field, also got to the line, and he got his teammates involved. And by the way, count how many rings he has in his hand. So, to me, the most underrated player in this, 20, 30 years has got to be Tony Parker, because he was never first team or second team All-NBA guy. He was just a guy that got it done. So I'm taking Tony Parker.
All right, G, let's go now.
A player who played kind of at the same time as Tony Parker, doesn't have as many championships, but I feel that he's underrated because of how his career began and kind of the reputation he has now, and that's Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups was I believe the number 3 pick in the 97 draft after Tim Duncan, and I think Keith Van Horn was the second pick, but he was brought into Boston to be that. He came in as a scoring point guard, which really was kind of like a 4-letter word at the time in the NBA, to be a scoring point guard. But him playing for Rick Pitino, that just didn't work out. So then he kind of bounced around to other teams. He played for the Timberwolves. He played for the Raptors for like 5 minutes. I believe he played for Orlando. He played for Denver at one point, but then towards the end of his career, he played for Denver again. But it seemed like he wasn't going to find a home as far as just being a player in the league. And then when he comes to the Pistons, then Larry Brown comes in. Then they go to 6 straight Eastern Conference finals. They win a championship in 2004. They go back to the finals 2005. He's a finals MVP. And for him to get the respect and the accolades as far as being named an all-star and just having being looked at as a key piece, like the key piece of the Pistons run that they had in the early 2000s, and being traded, like Detroit traded him for Allen Iverson, and it worked out better for Denver when he went back to Denver, and they made the Western Conference Finals with him. So for a guy who it didn't look like he was going to stay in the league because of his style of play, he was able to make adjustments, get the right coaching and the right team around him. And even though that people look at that 2004 Pistons team as
2 minutes.
All right.
2 minutes. All right. So this is round 3. This might be the deciding round. G, you up first. Last question. Gentlemen, good luck. Name a player rivalry, name the best player rivalry since 1990. Not named Peyton versus Brady or Jordan versus Dominique. I'm going to ask that question one more time. Name the best player rivalry since 1990, not named Peyton versus Brady or Jordan versus Dominique. G, you have 30 seconds.
All right, I'm ready.
We were struggling with it yesterday, me and H.O. All right, you ready? Let's go now.
All right, this is it's very simple. Since Magic and Bird, we've been looking for that Magic Bird or Chamberlain Russell kind of rivalry in the NBA. And right now, it's, even though they're not playing each other, they won't play each other in the playoffs this year, it's Kevin Durant, LeBron James. They played each other in the last two finals, and even though Kevin Durant had the much better team, you just felt that LeBron was going to maybe get Cleveland over the hump, or he's going to do something to bring his team over, to bring them another championship. They played each other in 2012 in the NBA Finals, and they were clearly the two best players in the league. And at this point, 7 years later, they're still two of at least the top 5 players in the league. And whenever they play each other, they don't match up on each other all the time, but just to see where their journey has gone to where they change teams to give themselves a better chance to win, or if their styles of play, just like styles make fights, their styles of play is Kevin Durant being a scorer, LeBron being a distributor and doing everything else. Seeing them on the court, I don't see a better NBA rivalry between two individual players since Magic and Bird.
All right, Danny, you're up next. Let's go now.
Wow, I mean, that's a great answer. I'm going to go a little different here. I think the greatest rivalry between two individuals in a sport, I'm going to go a little bit off the grid here. I'm looking at Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Sr. When you look at how NASCAR has changed, and growing up in the North Carolina and Charlotte area, you understand how much NASCAR is. But if you look at Dale Earnhardt as the gold standard of NASCAR, and you have this guy from Indiana, Jeff Gordon, a 20-something Madison Avenue type of guy coming into a Southern sport and changing how everything went in NASCAR. NASCAR under Jeff Gordon became one of the most popular things. We all were in high school. Raph, G, everybody listening, y'all all had NASCAR jackets. Why? Because Jeff Gordon changed everything. Dale Earnhardt was basically the gold standard. Jeff Gordon came in and did something completely different. We look at how styles create everything. It went from a good old boy network in NASCAR under Dale Earnhardt in the 80s, 70s, 80s, to now a mainstream sport with Jeff Gordon and the younger guys coming in. So not to mention at the same time, these two guys went back and forth. Jeff Gordon, I think, won 25, 30 races during that time and 3 championships, while Dale Earnhardt raised his level to a whole new level before he passed away in 2001. So it's more than just what was on the racetrack. It's a cultural thing with these two guys, because it brought an entire generation of younger folks into NASCAR who never listened to it, who never watched it. At the same time, everybody's favorite rapper's favorite rapper also wore a NASCAR jacket. I still got 2 at my mom's house.
All right. There you have it. Who do you have? Who are you voting? Man, this is close. This is real close. Great battle, man. Great battle. Great answers. Danny, real quickly, anything to say?
You know, that was probably the best one I've had to deal with. Raph, G is he got me with that. The second answer though, I was going to take Chauncey. I really was going to take Chauncey. G, I was until the very last second.
All right, G, any words?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to say Chauncey Billups, and then when he went with Tony Parker, like, okay, well, I'm going with Chauncey Billups. So there is, with doing this, for anyone listening, there is some strategy involved, because you got to have if you don't go first, someone might take your answer.
Right.
So you got to. It's important to listen and have some multiple choices.
Now I was if anybody would have gone off the grid, it would have been the Tonya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing. I think that would have been the killer.
Oh, yeah, that was
you see what I'm saying? That was a 94. So I think if anybody would have went off the grid, that would have been the one to go with and go to, because they actually had made a movie for that.
All right, so look, appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate you, G. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
What's happening? It's your man Big T doing big things. Y'all know what it is. ATL Hawks official DJ and Rap City forever. You're checking out the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You dig?
Are you tired of avoiding great tasting food because you want to eat healthy? Well, Salad Express will fix that problem for you. Salad Express is a gourmet salad and grill restaurant that gives you multiple options to satisfy your taste buds and keep you healthy. They have over 40 toppings, which are cut fresh daily, 7 homemade soups, and even chili. You can also order hot sandwiches and wraps with choices like grilled chicken, steak, salmon, and shrimp, which can be added to salads too. So go ahead and visit them today at 1055 Mansell Road, Suite 600, Roswell, Georgia, and 1171 La Vista Road Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia. Call their Roswell location at 770-680-5992 or the La Vista Road location at 404-929-8828. And don't forget to let them know the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge sent you.
Three-point conversion, Kevin Herter with the Atlanta Hawks.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And we had the lottery this Tuesday. We found out who was picking who, where Zion was going, basically. But still a lot of interesting teams that has to make a decision. They have to make a decision, and then there's a lot of interesting players that are still like, okay, do you go at him? Do we pick him? And we have to bring in a college expert, but basketball expert, my man, the one and only Deshaun Tate from Take Sports. What's up, Deshaun? Deshaun, you there? I guess we got disconnected. Try to reach him back. We'll try to reach him back. But okay, Deshaun?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? All right, what's going on, bro? Hey.
What up, though?
Hey, this is big, bro. This lottery was crazy. We had, Pelicans, I guess they have the Zion sweepstakes, but now it gets interesting because of the KD situation. But yet still, even with the hometown Atlanta Hawks, with the 8th and number 10th pick, and I have to ask you, I have to start off asking you, because of this, is there anybody worth trading up to as far as the Atlanta Hawks with the 2 picks, 8th and 10th spot, to get in the first round? Anybody worth trading up to? Or if not, what are the good picks for number 8 and number 10 for the Hawks?
Anybody worth trading up to? Is that a trick question?
Yeah,
I think
about
it's somebody.
6'7".
You know what? It's funny. I thought I didn't know what to expect when I first threw this proposal out there. And I've been hearing quite a few people say it, but it's funny and ironic how I never heard anybody say it until I said it. why not package up 8 and 10 with John Collins and go get the top dog? Like, why? I don't understand why not. A lot of people are saying they don't think that would be a good idea.
Wait, who you say package up who?
You package up number 8 and number 10, the 2 picks, and John Collins, and then you go and take the top dog.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
So I mean that's personally, that's what I say that you do. I know a lot of people aren't necessarily in love with that. However, I will say enough to say that why not? You're going to shoot every shot that you don't take. You're in this position for a reason, and you have a hard enough time trying to get top-notch, players to come over this way in free agency, and I don't think they really want to build much of free agency, although they got the cap of somewhere around like $41 million. But if you want to build within the draft, you got to be a risk taker, and I think taking risk is something that you're going to do if you do hold on to that number 8, number 10 spot, because after you get to about 6, which essentially is, and none of these are guaranteed, guys, but once you start talking Zion, Morant, R.J. Barrett, and then you start talking Culver, Reddish, and Hunter. You don't really have a whole lot. Nobody's really top 10 worthy anymore. I mean, you could tell me the rest of these guys in the first round, and I think they could be arguable second-round draft picks in any other draft because this draft is so weak. So I've been saying all along that I think Cam Reddish is their guy. I think that's the guy that is the guy. Mark my words for this. That's the guy that they wanted going into the NCAA tournament. They were willing to take Cam Reddish if they didn't get the number 1 pick. I think that they were just sold on that. Obviously, his motor and some inconsistencies and what have you. He doesn't necessarily play from the tip ball, and he doesn't come with the intensity and the passion, and you kind of question him a lot of different things and stuff like that. I think that that's why some of that has kind of changed. But at the end of the day, ultimately, I think that's the guy they wanted, and they still have a chance to get him. But the problem in number 8 is what happens if he's no longer on the board, and neither is Hunter, and they need and they need a slasher, somebody that can be able to shoot the ball, and also you don't have Culver anymore. What do you do? I think best case scenario as far as that is with that number 8 pick is probably just going to go for a shooter, and I think in that situation, Keldon Johnson from Kentucky is probably your best fit.
Hey, Deshaun, what up, though? This is your main man, H.O. I do have a question for you as far as immediate, as far as these guys relating to the Hawks or just relating, period. Out of Hunter, Reddish, and Culver, who do you think would be more of an immediate impact if the Hawks are just so lucky to have a choice of the 3?
I'd say Hunter. Because, ever since we saw Hunter up on that campus, he's pretty much been an immediate impact. There's been some inconsistencies with him, but there's been some inconsistencies with all 3 of these guys, and he's a proven winner, The funny thing, him and Culver, they're going to forever be linked throughout this draft the same way we saw Trae Young and Luka Doncic this year, just because of the fact that when you need that ultimate small forward, a guy that can shoot, put the ball on the floor, slash, get in between passing lanes, very long, lengthy, play defense. They both come from defensive scheme-type programs. They were linked together in the national championship game. I mean, you name it, they're going to be linked together. And some people would say take Culver first. People would say take Hunter first. Their game kind of resembles each other quite a bit. I think that Hunter right now is the better shooter. However, I think that Culver probably has the better upside. But as far as immediate impact, you're looking for right now, not trying to build on a guy. And I love Cam Reddish, man. The thing about Cam Reddish is he has the potential to not just be better than those guys, but to be much better than those guys. There's a lot of people that was arguing that he was the best basketball player on that Duke team. Now, the best athlete, maybe not. The best this and that, maybe not. But the best basketball player, I think that there's certainly some conversations, for that, because he has the skill set, he has the tools, he has the body, the size, the length. I've always been saying this for a long time. I hear a lot of people saying this too, and I didn't hear many people saying it before I said it. Let me make sure I mention that. But he reminds me so much of Rudy Gay. I was always the type of person that believed that Rudy Gay coming in could have been Scottie Pippen-ish type of player, but he didn't want to be that. He wanted to be Rudy Gay. And that's what I believe that Cam Reddish is. I don't think this is a matter of being lazy. I don't think he's a lazy guy. It's just who he is as a person. He doesn't come with a lot of intensity, and you almost have to slap him around a couple times, call a timeout, yank him up by the uniform, and cuss him out and send him back out on the floor after a huddle just to get the type of player that you expected to have from tip ball. But I think that at the highest ceiling, I think that player is Cam Reddish, but immediate impact, I think, is for right now. I think that player is DeAndre Hunter.
All right. And once again, we're here live with Deshaun Tate from 92.9 The Game. You can follow him on all social media platforms. Make sure I get it right at Tate Sports.
There you go. I know it take you a minute. It's a tongue twister, baby. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Right. Make sure y'all follow him, man. This dude, he's about to be known. He doesn't know it. I'm not trying to be in my church, prophetic mode, but this dude's about to be like, in 2 or 3 years, he's going to be like known all over the country, man, as the top. Jay Billups, you probably ain't going to hear about him anymore. You might, but it's going to be this guy. But hopefully he'll be still gracious enough to come on our show. So, but anyway, my next question is, what player can the Lakers get with a 4th overall pick? Even though they might possibly try to trade to the Pelicans, but let's say if they don't, what player is perfect for them at the number 4? Because everybody thinks that it's going to be Zion, Ja, then RJ. So who do you believe, if those 3 are gone, who do you believe can be that player for the Lakers?
I'm going to answer that. Let me say this real quick because I don't think I answered your first question when you said something about the number 10 pick, which I think you're taking a crapshoot on. It's really kind of hard for me to believe that I would even say this at this point because I was thinking Bol at number 10. That with all of that being said, I think that the Lakers have it the most difficult, and the Cavs have it the easiest because I think at number 4 you're either going with a Jarrett Culver or you're going with DeAndre Hunter, and I think that to decipher which one of those guys it's going to be, not that you can lose with either one of those guys, but you have to make sure that you're picking the right one. And in that case, all the pressure is on them. Now, Cleveland has it easy right after them because whichever one the Lakers don't pick, that's the one that you go for. So I think at 4 and 5, again, being linked forever throughout this draft again, that's between Culver and Hunter, between the 2 of those guys. So I think that hopefully that helps you out a little bit between 4 and 5. We might even see some movement at number 5 because the Cleveland Cavaliers have shown quite a bit of some interest in really expressing that they want R.J. Barrett, and R.J. Barrett's not going to be there at 5. So we might even see some moves being made so that they can move up, and that'll be kind of interesting to see what happens with them with a new coach, John Beilein from Michigan. But as far as the Los Angeles Lakers, I think they have the most pressure on them. However, if you're in position where you have to choose between Jarrett Culver and DeAndre Hunter, that's a pretty good problem to have, in my opinion.
All right. There you have it. Man, next week, I hope to have you on. I don't know what the schedule. We'll talk. But because I definitely want to get into because I feel like you stated, the first round, you don't have the players there. I mean, it's only a certain amount. But in the second round, you have a nice gang of players that can help some teams. And I really want your take on it. But we definitely appreciate you, Deshaun, for coming on. Once again, follow this man at Tate's Take Sports on Twitter, Instagram, all social media outlets, and Deshaun Tate on Facebook. Appreciate you, bro. Have a great weekend, sir.
No, I appreciate you guys for bringing me on, man. And if the good Lord allows me to be here next weekend, the next weekend it is, man. I'd love to join you on the show. Because it's Memorial Weekend, you might I might be doing it from a beach or something, but you better believe I'm still going to be able to make some time for my boy to come in on the show, man, and rap and talk some basketball. I'm just mad I didn't get one of them long football segments that you guys always put together, one of them good 20, 30-minute football segments, but it's all good, man. I understand that we're not, quote-unquote, it's always football time here in this market, so I appreciate you guys for having me on. You guys
All right, bro. Thanks, man.
All right, bro.
We're going to take a quick break. Keep it locked.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter. No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. This is the time where we like to thank and tell everyone how much we appreciate all of the support that is given to us. We appreciate you. We ask you to continue to support us, not only the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, but the 3-Point Conversion in itself, the company. We appreciate you. And now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yes. S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, it is on you, H.O. What do you have, sir?
Man, this is. I think I can have this topic every week. But this topic this week goes to the Atlanta Braves bullpen once again, leading 12-0 going into the 7th inning, and you give up 8 straight runs, and you go through 4 or 5 pitchers just to close the game out, and you're leading 12-0. Atlanta Braves bullpen, please stop it.
Stop it. Wow. Yeah, they not the bullpen management. Get something. Let's try at least. Try to get somebody.
Austin Riley does not pitch.
That's just I know, right? Wow, that's crazy. G has one also.
Yeah, I got one. This one goes out to the owner of the horse Maximum Security, Gary West, and the trainer Jason Service, to where they have issued a challenge to the owners of Country House, War of Will, Long Range Toddy, and Bot Express, challenging them to a race. Everyone puts in $5 million to a race. Well, actually, if anybody finishes ahead of Maximum Security for the rest of the year, he will pay each of them $5 million. They will pay each $5 million. Just because of this whole Kentucky Derby thing. Like,
Can he
dude, let it go.
Stop it. Can he let it go? Why, I mean, come on, man. Let it go. All right. So we all heard what's going on with the Jets. You know, Adam Gase, he let go the GM. Now he's going to be the GM. But it's been reported that Adam Gase completely removed himself from the New York Jets draft process.
Stop it.
What? That doesn't even make sense. Like, bro, so was this a setup from the beginning?
It had to be. Like, he took himself out of the draft process. He didn't help negotiate the contract with Le'Veon Bell, but he's got all this stuff to say about it.
Wow.
Stop it.
Yeah, thank you. All right. That wraps up the Stop It segment. That's crazy, man. The stuff that people would do, man, to get over. Wow. It's like that, Gase. All right. So, and the dumb thing, he should get a stop it for standing in the same division. That's my... Why are you still in the AFC East? Like, haven't you learned your lesson, bro? Golly. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We will have Dr. Fowler come in to talk these injuries and the playoffs and baseball and everything else. He might give a stop it. All right, we'll be right back.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Happy Saturday, sports fans. It's your boy Sherm, a.k.a. the Lord of the Beats, and you are currently inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my man's Mr. Controversy, D Intellectual, and of course my dog G behind the boards. Cheers to the freaking weekend.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And we have our own doctor. It's not like the previous New Orleans Pelicans. This man will get you right. You won't be on the shelf forever and keep getting on the shelf. None other than from Ortho Atlanta, the orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta, Dr. Donnie Fowler III. What's going on, sir?
What's up, fellas? Good to be back. Sorry I missed you last week.
We can guarantee that, right? That no New Orleans Pelicans type issue, right? With you, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm just waiting for my boy Zion to officially declare he's just going to go back to Duke. But other than that, we're good.
There you go.
a man can dream, right?
Right. So. All right. So this injury with KD is called a calf strain. But we all know anytime you look back to see if somebody kicked you, that's no calf strain. It doesn't look like it. I've never seen anybody with a calf strain look back, see if somebody kicked him. How serious is this injury, and is it more than what Golden State is telling us?
Yeah, of course, what you're alluding to when you see someone look back and there's no contact and feel like someone kicked you, or sometimes people say like feels like they got shot in the back of their leg. It's the Achilles, and of course that's a big deal. And unless everyone's lying to us, I don't think it's Achilles, even though that was kind of what was first feared. It's not down in the tendon; it is in the muscle above it, in that calf or gastroc. But that can still, if you've ever strained a calf, I mean that's still a pretty painful injury and something that you can't really rush coming back from it, because anytime you try to jump, run, explode, cut, you're straining that calf and just re-aggravating it. So I do think it's probably just the calf, but it is more significant than I think most people realize. Where, I mean, it's definitely going to be a couple weeks. I think they've pretty much ruled him out for the rest of this series, and he has about, I think, 2 weeks before the NBA Finals would start. So I think there's a little more plausibility that he might be available by then, but they're kind of taking it week by week.
All right, Doc. So our dream for Zion comebacks is probably too big, but at least we can get Trey Jones coming back, so that can help. But I do want to talk about another big guy, Demarcus Cousins, and his injury, but more so of how serious or the injury would be for a smaller guy versus a bigger guy, as Boogie is 7 foot tall, and he has a lot more meat on the bone opposed to a smaller guy, and how would this affect him going forward in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you kind of look at it both sides as far as whether it's hurtful or beneficial. Is from size standpoint, he doesn't explode quite as much as someone smaller or quicker, but at the same time, he's carrying more weight around. So in a way, he's kind of stressing it in a different way than a smaller player. So I don't know if there's really a right answer as to which is better from the size perspective. Coming back from it, obviously, it's better than most people thought, and the fact that it wasn't a complete tear, otherwise he would have had surgery and been done again, kind of like his Achilles. But it's still a big deal, even with a partial tear. He's a little further along, it seems, in his timetable, where he's actually out on the court doing some stuff per reports, but still not doing any kind of live practice. So, he's still, I would say, at least a week or two away. Kind of same thing with Durant, where I wouldn't expect to see him at all in the Western Conference Finals, but maybe, assuming that they make it on to the NBA Finals, he might be available by then.
All right, and I have to ask you about this Shohei Ohtani. He came back and he's played, 5 games, I think. He's already making an impact. He hit a home run. I think he has 5 hits, something like that. But, he's coming back from Tommy John surgery, and he's not pitching. How long? They say he's expected till 2020, but how long will this recovery actually affect him pitching, and then will it affect him hitting as well? Even though he hit the home run, he has 5 hits, but should it take an effect on his hitting?
Yeah, so it was, I believe, October of last year that he had his Tommy John surgery. So you're, looking 7 months or so into his overall rehab. I think from the hitting standpoint, it's not like a pain issue or anything like that. I don't think he quite has all his power back yet from a strength standpoint. And that's going to take a little more time. I mean, like you said, he's hit 1 home run, but I think it'll take a little bit longer for him to get a little more of his strength and pop back in the bat, just from a time standpoint of not swinging for a long time. The throwing and the pitching, it sounds like he's coming along pretty well. I think the last thing I saw, he was up to 115 feet or 120 feet throwing, which is pretty far. He's not kind of close to where he's ready to get on a mound and actually start throwing from an elevated surface, but they're talking about doing that later on this summer and not, like you said, rushing him back as far as the pitching goes and just planning to have him ready to throw again by 2020.
All right, Doc, the last question for you. Bruce Arians, new coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, he has a lot of pressure and things of that nature. But going into that division, we have Cam Newton also that is shoulder injury, kind of like how does he come back from this, and what kind of pressure would be put on Carolina and the coaching staff, and how soon they could come back, or Cam can come back from this with all the other coaches or new coaches in this division trying to vie for a top spot?
Yeah, I mean, Cam is it's going to be interesting to see because he's coming off now having his second shoulder surgery. Now, this one wasn't as invasive, or not as much was done. Again, I wasn't in his surgery, but from the reports I've heard, I mean, the first one was a rotator cuff or partial rotator cuff tear, where they actually even used some tissue to augment the repair, and it sounds like that kind of overly scarred in, and so the surgery he had in, I believe, January was more just a clean out of scar tissue. They weren't actually having to re-repair anything. So I think he's going to make faster strides than he did a couple years ago when he had the first surgery. He's not throwing yet. Obviously, they drafted Will Greer in the third round, but claim that it has nothing to do with Cam being their starting quarterback. But at the same time, you know, I'm sure they don't mind having a reasonable insurance policy depending on how things go. So, I mean, I don't think Cam's the kind of guy, he's never going to tell you that he's hurting or there's anything wrong, but certainly need to keep an eye out on once training camp starts, how he's throwing. So,
man, that's a shame.
That's
man.
tough.
Just hate to hear that.
Yep.
But all right, Doc, thank you all for always providing great insight on these injuries, and you know, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And once again, it's Dr. Donnie Fowler III, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. You all need to get checked out, especially if you're in Atlanta. You all need to but go hit them up. You can hit me up if you need to find them, but you can look up Ortho Atlanta and good people. I've been with them. They've worked on me and fixed me. I'm good now. I'm not laboring anymore, so.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You
All
too.
right, then.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Baseball, Austin Riley. Y'all need to know who this guy is. Be right back.
And as your king, I proclaim that...
Excuse me, Your Highness?
Yes?
Can we take a selfie with you?
Of course. Get on in here. Big smile. Oh, that's a good one. Fellow citizens, this picture already has 27 likes. Huzzah!
Come to the place where everyone feels like royalty. The Georgia Ren Fest. Every weekend from April 13th to June 2nd. Find tickets at GARenfest.com. The Georgia Ren Fest. Get into it.
Yeah, this is CJ Edwards with the Chicago Cubs, known as Carl Edwards Jr. I am now on the three-point conversion. Holla at your boy.
All right, we are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. Major League Baseball time. So, I want to, like we always do, quickly. I'm gonna go through the standings quickly, very quickly, and we're gonna just see what's going on in baseball. Then I know HO has something to say about these Braves, but quickly, AL East, we have the Yankees atop that division, 27-16. Tampa Bay 26-16, and wow, Boston is 23-12. Man, they won the last 7 out of the last 10. They won the 7 out of the last 10. Just quickly, man, Boston is in it. Like, they still can win this division.
What makes this division is so competitive is Tampa Bay Rays is finally putting together some great things. They just made a trade for another bullpen help, hint, Atlanta Braves. But they have led the division most of the season. So this with Boston and New York finally realizing that they're going to have some competition, this probably is going to be one of the divisions to watch moving forward.
Right.
3-team race.
And in the AL Central, I used to I don't know why I always got tired when I talked about the AL Central, but it's looking kind of nice right now. Minnesota's 29-15, and Cleveland is at 23-20, and White Sox is trailing 20. They're 20-23. So
yeah, two-man race at this point. Minnesota always and Cleveland. They basically the same team. A lot of young players, good pitching. Cleveland has better pitching than Minnesota does with Kluber and Trevor Bauer, but it's a two-man race pretty much for the Central.
Right, and AL West really nothing to go over. I mean, Houston is up 30-15. They do like they usually do.
Yeah.
No one else is
even close.
So,
though Mike Trout still leads the AL in WAR, I
don't see it.
Yeah, I don't understand what that is. But in Philadelphia. In the East, Philadelphia is leading the National League East, 25-19. The Braves are 24-21. They've won 3 in a row, and the Mets are looking from behind, 20-23. I'm gonna come back to the Braves quickly. I'm gonna go over it, and now we're gonna talk about this young guy. Chicago Cubs are 26-16 in the NL Central. Milwaukee 27-20, and Pittsburgh is 22-20, and Cardinals are 4.5 games back at 23-22. This might be the best division in baseball right now.
I still think it's two-man race. I'm not really trusting the Pirates at this point.
Not even, but the Cardinals. I'm saying.
I don't really
you don't think the Cardinals come back?
No, I think Chris Bryant has found his touch. I think Milwaukee bullpen, if they continue to still do what they need to do. Aguilera is having an awful year at this particular point, but I think the Brewers and the Cubs are going to continue to be a two-man race. Don't really trust the Cardinals at this particular point. I know Ozuna is having an awesome year, but their pitching is pretty down this year.
All right, and then last but not least, the National League West, LA Dodgers are 4.5 games up on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're 30-16, and Diamondbacks are 25-20. And San Diego comes in at 23-22. So, quickly, it's some young guy named, I think, Austin Riley. Some guy.
Yep.
Came, from the minor leagues and is a rookie, and he is performing.
Yeah.
At a high level.
Yeah. Braves called him up a couple of days ago. Even admitted that he wanted to go ahead and get his strikeout out pretty early. So he struck out the first at bat and went on a tear. Actually, he had six hits in 3 games, which is tied for the most in Atlanta Braves history. Who's looking for that 7th hit last night, but couldn't kind of get it done. But the kid is awesome. Obviously, we're going to have to kind of pump the brakes. Kid is big kid, 6'3", 220 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee. Great power hitter. We've been watching and seeing this here in Gwinnett. He actually had 14 home runs, 39 RBIs, leading the International League in both categories, hitting 298. And at this particular point, I just want to wait and see exactly how he adjusts to when they finally have a book on him. When they finally have a book on him, how does he adjust? Chipper has given him some notes and some tips and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens. But as far as what the Braves are doing, this kind of overshadows the bullpen woes and things of that nature. But more importantly, I think this is that thing we got to keep an eye on is what happens when Inciarte comes back from injury and how fast can they probably, I guess, make him expendable? Do you take Austin out of the lineup? Do you keep him in? Some very tough decisions for the Braves, and just can't wait to see what they're going to actually do.
So, last question, quickly. Do you see this kid? You know how you have some players that jumped out. I can name a few players.
Right.
I remember Todd Zill, when he came up, he was a rookie. He played for the Cardinals.
Right.
He was big. Everybody thought that was it, and then he developed into a regular player.
Eric Carroll for the
Dodgers.
At Braden, it seemed like when there were a time where the Dodgers had like 4 straight rookies.
Great Brock.
Yeah.
Carroll's Brock.
It was like Nomo and
Nomo.
Mondesi.
Yeah. So, but then you have players that you kind of know when you watch them off rip. Chris Bryant, you knew it was something special about that kid. Acuna, you knew it was something special about this kid. Trout, you knew. Does Riley have that look? Do you feel this kid could be special, or is he one of those guys where he can be like, 287, 24 home runs, not bad, like
I think what's so interesting about this, and I'm going to make it quick, is that he does not have to have the pressure on him because they already have Acuna, Albies, and now you're talking about Soroka.
He's not the same.
And Max Fried. See, he doesn't have the pressure of a franchise savior. Only thing we're asking him to do is just kind of blend in. So the pressure that Dansby kind of had when we first got him, he doesn't have that kind of pressure. So I think it comes off his bat a little different. As long as he's able to blend in, and you got to think about it. Fried, Soroka, Acuna, Albies, Dansby, and Austin Riley, you're not paying a whole lot of money for. I think as the baby Braves, as they always called, this blends in perfectly well with what they need and what's going on in Atlanta. And Austin Riley is just another piece that we have added to this tremendous offense, but we got to be able to save games.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones, a Sucker Free Life Double LC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. And this next segment, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Make sure you purchase your apparel today, and you can purchase it on Facebook.com. Sucker Free Life LLC. All right, what's on my mind, man? Looking at this draft, it's a lot of players that are not sexy, as far as, we need to get him. Maybe 3, maybe 4 after that. But it's a lot of good players, a lot of players who could play basketball. So it makes me think about what's going on with the NBA and where we headed. And I think about the eras. I think about when Magic came in. For a while after Magic retired, everybody was looking for a tall point guard, a big point guard. Jordan came in. Now everybody's kind of looking for that athletic player, but Jordan was so fundamentally sound, you really didn't want to go just athleticism. It was still that combination. Then it was just great basketball players. And finally, when Vince came in, Vince Carter in 99, the NBA shifted to let's find that athlete. Then it was just a whole bunch of athletes that played basketball. LeBron James, so on. But you look at some of these players now, like a Chris Middleton. If he was drafted in 90s, early 90s, late 80s, he would be a hot commodity. You look at Steph Curry, not even Steph Curry, but look at McCollum. Mm-hmm. How did he get to Lehigh? Well, because he's not flashy. He can play basketball, we see that, but he's not flashy. So right now it seems like the NBA world, whether it's NBA, college, are no longer looking for basketball players. It seems like they're looking for either the flashy, something about you has to be attractive. And if it's not, we're going to pass you up. That's why you see players like Steph Curry go to Davidson, and you have CJ McCollum go to
Lehigh.
And Lehigh, and it's like
Lillard to Weber State.
Right, Lillard, come on. And
Washington State for Klay Thompson.
So it's just crazy to see that now you see all these great basketball players that at one time didn't get any shine in college. Why? Because they're not flashy. Because it's either athleticism or you could just shoot the three and you can cross somebody over and look good. You get the ooze in the eyes. So this draft, look for a whole bunch of players to be great players or very good players in the league coming up that's not a flashy player. And that's what's on my mind.
Pretty good, sir. I'm sure we done talked about some players that's not on a radar for a lot of people. But what's on my mind, I'm gonna stay with the draft, and I'm gonna go with our hometown Atlanta Hawks, and I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. And G, and I just kind of want people to. I know that the allure of having Trey and John Collins improve and have 10 more wins than last year, and the excitement it brought to State Farm Arena. Now we got the 8th pick and the 10th pick and 3 second-round picks. I just want to caution people of the Atlanta area to make sure that we pump the brakes and we allow this process that Travis and Lloyd Pierce is putting in place. Allow this process to work itself out. Allow them to make moves, and let's trust in Travis and what he's done so far. And, let's not try to make the Hawks a championship caliber team next year all of a sudden just because Trey may either win rookie year or come a runner-up, or John Collins went from averaging 11 points to 18 points a game. And now we got the 8th pick and the 10th pick. Allow this process to work itself out, and let's just enjoy this process of what we're trying to build, because I think at this particular point, the Atlanta Hawks have put themselves in a very, very good position in building something that is young, exciting, and something to look forward to. So I just caution everybody for the Atlanta fans, to let's not try to win a championship in 1 year. And that's what's on my mind.
Agreed, sir. I definitely agree. I agree. All right. You hear this music, you already know what time it is. It's time to let you all go. But before we let you go, we have a couple of shout-outs. And before you leave, you might be one of them, so stay tuned. First, I want to give a shout-out to the Almighty God for giving us this platform, for giving me this platform, giving me the opportunity to speak my mind, say what I say, do what I do, make you all mad, upset, want to give me the stop it button. Appreciate you, God. And that's, man, it's crazy that I'm doing this.
Thank you, Raphael.
Also, I want to thank our sponsors, Cindy Cousins Barbershop, Ortho Atlanta, Salad Express, and Sucker Free Life LLC. Also, I want to thank our special guest, Deshaun Tate, for coming on. I want to thank Danny Thompson for participating in the Battlegrounds session. Also, Dr. Fowler for coming on. And I want to thank my road dog, G. And my man Terry for here. Terry, you're going to be hearing his voice a lot. But I appreciate him coming out here, man. Prayers are with you, sir, and your family. And my man H.O.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Always good to come in on a Saturday morning. Rocking and rolling with my main man, Ralph, man, in the Sports Lounge, 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and obviously kicking it with my man G. Good to put it out here, man, on Saturday morning, because somebody got to get his ATL some energy on Saturday morning, man. So I always appreciate it. And if you want to continue to listen to some great sports, please tune in to Sports Roundtable each and every Wednesday, 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Real 1100, srtradio.com.
All right, and I'm going to just make this real quick. I want to thank my family and friends, beautiful wife, children, all of my family, y'all, everybody. And just let everybody know that you love them, love on them while they're alive. Let them know that you love them. You never know when they'll be gone. Also, have a great weekend, man. Enjoy sports, enjoy family, eat good. Just be safe, out here. You know what I'm saying? Loved ones need you, And if you see a Green Bay Packers fan, slap them. And so, until then, next time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace. You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.